Assalamualaikum. Today, our group will be presenting about inflation in Malaysia during COVID-19. Our group consists of 5 members, which is Aisyah Erdina, Mi Auni, Farham Muhammad, Faad, and Siraj Munir. So, let's go into it. Malaysia is a monarchy in Southeast Asia that consisting of 13 states and 3 federal governments. In early 2020, there was a serious epidemic in Malaysia, which is COVID-19, that caused all people to suffer. On 16 March 2020, the number of confirmed cases over to 553, and the Malaysian Prime Minister announced the implementation of the Movement Control Order. Due to the pandemic, inflation for COVID-19 is sensitive. Inflation is the rate at which price increase of the certain period of the time. Other than that, inflation is often quantified generally, such as the overall increase in the prices or the cost of living in the country. And next, Aisha will explain about the one way in how to overcome inflation in Malaysia.
So today I will explain how the Malaysian government overcome inflation during the COVID-19 using monetary policy. In Malaysia, the monetary policy is the action taken by the Bank Negara Malaysia (BNM) to influence interest rates in the country. In order for them to attain monetary stability, the Monetary Policy Committee (MPC) sets monetary policy to keep inflation low and stable while supporting the economic growth of the country. Due to the outbreak of COVID-19, the MPC sets the monetary policy by setting and adjusting the overnight policy rate (OPR). The OPR is the BNM's policy rates that influence, amongst others, banks' lending, financial rates, as well as deposit rates. These rates allows you to know how much the cost is for the loan and how much you get in return for the deposit. However, due to the pandemic of COVID-19, the MPC stated that the lowest OPR was at 1.75% during July 2020 to May 2022. This action was done by the government to support the economy during the COVID-19. The lower interest charge made loan become cheaper for spur spending. This means that the central bank has already aimed to make borrowing cheaper, intending to increase lendings, savings, and investments in the country. For example, if someone is considering a mortgage and the monthly payment is lower, this potentially encourages the people to buy houses, which in return supports the housing market in the country. Spur spending is also considered to be one of the key components in economic growth. This is because, due to the lower interest charged by the central bank, it allows the public to have more money for them to spend on. This allows increase in demands for goods and services, leading to stimulate the production and manufacturing activities in the country. The decision to lower interest rates was driven to cushion the economic impact of COVID-19. The pandemic created significant challenges, including the disruption of businesses in the country. By lowering interest rates, it provides financial relief for business owners who are suffering from increase of cost or revenue to the uncertainty during the pandemic. In summary, the decision to lower OPR in Malaysia during the specified period of time was a proactive measure made by the central bank to address the economic challenges passed by the COVID-19 pandemic. The aim was to make borrowing more affordable, spur spending, and to support the business and households during the period of economic uncertainty. According to the monetary policy statement, as in November 2023, the OPR is currently at 3%. It shows that the economy has the capability to continue growing and recovering despite the challenges of COVID-19 towards the country.
Now, I will explain about the fiscal policy, which is an effort from the government. As we know, the COVID-19 pandemic that hit our country in the first quarter of 2020 had a bad effect on our country's economy, which is partially paralyzed due to that epidemic. Therefore, the efforts from the Malaysian government to cut inflation continue to rise by implementing the economic stimulus package Prihatin Rakyat, or known as Prihatin. Prihatin was announced by Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin, a finance minister, in a place following February Sheraton move, a dedicated unit for the implementation and coordination of national agencies on the economic stimulus package. was formed within the Ministry of Finance on 16 March 2020 to monitor the implementation of stimulus package and ensure they were delivered in a timely and effective manner, regularly reporting to the Economic Action Council chaired by the Prime Minister. 11 days after the first MCO was announced, the economic stimulus package Prihatin Rakyat was released on 27 March 2020. This 250 billion package focused on additional funding for healthcare, medical equipment, enhancing testing capacity, and 3 months limited wage subsidies to encourage businesses to retain employees. Prihatin also include an automatic moratorium on loan repayments for 6 months to households, which end in September 2020, partly to encourage private consumption. Now, let's move to the first slide to present about where the allocation of Prihatin stimulus package is divided.
Next is allocation of Prihatin stimulus package. Firstly is healthcare and frontliners, equivalent to RM 1,000 million fund allocation to the Ministry of Health for medical equipment, and RM 200 allocated to essential workers with a particular focus on frontliners such as police and immigration. Secondly is direct aid, RM 1,600 one-off payment to households earning below RM 4,000 to Malaysia citizen. And for student, a one-off assistance of RM 200 will be given from May 2020. With the assistance, it can help ease the burden on students and their family, especially students who live in college residences or rented houses around their respective institutes of higher education. Thirdly is wage subsidy and job retention, RM 4,900 wage of subsidy program for Malaysian workers who earn RM 4,000 or less for 3 months. And lastly is RM 110 to cleaning and catering contract workers will be paid a salary and their terms of service will be extended for another month, taking into account the MCO period.
Next, I'm going to talk about Penjana. Penjana stands for Short-Term Economic Recovery Plan, and it is the continuity of Prihatin, which my friends had explained earlier. In the 6 essential actions to guide the economy, Penjana is in the recovery stages. Penjana has 3 key thrusts, which is empower people, propel businesses, and stimulate the economy. There are 40 initiatives under Penjana worth 35 billion ringgit, where the 10 billion are. So I'm going to explain a few of Penjana's initiatives. First of all, to empower people, the government has set My 30 public transport subsidy, which offer unlimited travel pass worth RM 30 ringgit to ease the burden of the people in the Klang Valley. There's also daycare subsidy, which gives registered daycare under Ministry of Women, Family and Community a one-time grant up to 5,000 ringgit to comply with the SOP. This is also to help the affected daycare that has to shut down due to the COVID-19. Second one is to propel businesses. This is by having Penjana Tourism Financing. This initiative is to ensure the sustainability of small and medium-sized enterprises in the tourism sector. It's micro and small and medium-sized enterprise e-commerce campaign. So, according to Department of Statistics Malaysia, small and medium enterprise has contributed 38.3% to KDNK. This campaign is to expand the e-commerce platform that will offer sales subsidies, onboard training and more. And the last one, which is to stimulate the economy, the government has set up the National Buy Malaysia campaign to encourage the usage of products and services that are made in Malaysia. This is also to help small and medium enterprises as domestic expenses give multiplier effect to the Malaysia's economy. That's all from me. Thank you. In conclusion, it is essential to understand that controlling inflation is a continuous and changing process. So, to overcome the inflation, citizens must control their budget, which is they have to classify their source of income. And next, they have to increase their income. For example, they can take a part-time job, also make an investment. Lastly, the government must implement the price control, which is there are 2 types of price control, which is price ceiling and price floors.